All right, here we go. Huh? I don't know why it's so echoey. That's okay. That's okay.
Information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ.
I got him!
So don't get cocky.
This is about what's going to happen.
Welcome to
DeaconLive.
DeaconLive.
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, are you ready for World War III? And have you heard of a Subtropolis? And what actually happened at the Walmart bakery death? And this whale gets the last laugh. All this and much more will be discussed here on DeaconLive as we comb through your news and social media feeds and viral stories that you might have missed over the last 7 days or so. Done all within a 60-minute segment. How are you? How are things? How are things going? And we have breaking news right now. I'm going to forego the normal stuff that I talk about. This just happened just now, and I think this is going to be a trend that's going to be going on here closer we get to the election and stuff. Now, this store right here, I was never going to be part of this store because I'm a big fat guy. They would never let me be a model at this store. But I always looked at the store itself and said, you know, that store's made for a certain type of people. And what I'm talking about is Abercrombie and Fitch. And don't forget, for every podcast we have a matching video, and you can see this in real time as we're talking about it here. Go over to YouTube, search DeaconLive Podcast, and you can see this in real time. So here we go. I'm going to switch to camera 4, and look at that. Check that out. We're going to go to, where are we going? We're going right here. And the two CEOs of Abercrombie and Fitch have been arrested for sex trafficking. So let's get more on this story right now.
Former Abercrombie & Fitch CEO Mike Jeffries has been accused of running an international sex trafficking operation. The federal indictments say victims were forcibly given enhancement drugs to perform sex acts, had to shave against their will, and wear costumes. Jeffries and his business partner Matthew Smith were arrested in West Palm Beach on Tuesday over the abhorrent acts. Federal prosecutors say they spoke with 15 male victims who claim the pair used the power they held to run the operation between 2008 and 2015. Jeffries' attorney said they would respond to the allegations in court.
So if you were going to have let's go back to me real quick. If you were going to have a sex trafficking ring, could you not do it under the guise of some other business, not the Abercrombie and Fitch? Because is it Fitch or Finch? Is it the bird, or is it like Pitch? It's Fitch. I see it here on the story. But I mean that store itself screams gay, sexual, male, nefarious stuff. So for more on what actually happened, we're going to go to the prosecutor and find out what the actual charges were. So here we go. I'm going to switch back to camera 4, and we can see this, and we can all be friends.
The arrest and charging of 3 defendants. Former CEO of Abercrombie & Fitch, Michael Jeffries, Matthew Smith, and James Jacobson, on charges of sex trafficking and engaging in interstate prostitution. Powerful individuals for too long have trafficked and abused for their own sexual pleasure young people with few resources.
Young men.
A dream of securing a successful career in fashion or entertainment. To anyone who thinks they can exploit and coerce others by using the so-called casting couch system, this case should serve as a warning. Prepare to trade that couch for a bed in federal prison. The message from today's prosecution is clear. Sexually exploiting vulnerable human beings is a crime, and doing so by dangling dreams of a future in fashion or modeling or any other business is no different. My office and our law enforcement partners will always prioritize standing up for victims, no matter their gender and no matter how powerful the wrongdoers think they are. We will hold them to account.
All right, so I have a couple questions. I mean, I understand, sex trafficking's bad, blah, blah, blah. It's the boogeyman right now. You don't want to be sex trafficked. Everyone's like on edge, I don't want to walk through a dark hallway by myself, type deal. Women more than men. But when you get into like Abercrombie and Fitch, that was their main demographic was young, fit, waif I mean, there were some waif girls in there, but waif men, male, probably 60% of them were homosexuals or gay or however you want to phrase whatever their sexual preference is. But then, they say that, they're exploiting these people with promises of like modeling careers and all this other stuff. I'm sorry. I know that the porn industry is the oldest profession in the business, but isn't that kind of the same thing that people that get into pornography or are in pornography, especially women, not necessarily the males. The males are in it for the fun. But the girls, aren't they like, well, I needed to do this. I needed to make a modeling career. And this is my first step towards my modeling career is being in porn. And isn't that, I mean, it's regulated. You can fight, it's regulated. There's a lot of stuff. They get tested every 6 months and all that. But I mean, it's kind of the same. Take the testing and take all the other stuff out of it. And plus they're getting paid. Isn't it kind of the same thing? Now, I'm not fighting for sexual trafficking or anything like that, but it's weird that we say this right here, this group of people that agree, that's the one thing, they do agree to do this. Maybe a little pressure put on them. Hey, babe, if you don't do the what was I going to say? I don't know, some bad maneuver. you're not going to get the next part in next week's, shoot over there in Beverly Hills or wherever they shoot their stuff out there in California, Sin City somewhere. Not Sin City. They've got a little town they call like Sexville or something like that over there in Los Angeles somewhere. But I mean, we accept that for the most part. I mean, there's a lot of people that say, pornography is bad, which, you can, it's a religious thing in yourself. You have to play with those entities. But here we have Abercrombie and Fitch, and this guy's promising them a career in whatever, but you have to be on the casting couch. It's kind of like the Weinstein thing. Weinstein says you're not going to be in a movie there, Gwyneth Paltrow, unless you S my D. So it's weird. It's very loose, but you wouldn't think that the CEOs would get caught up in this. You'd think there'd be a lot of barriers, a lot of buffers in order to get to the big guys, but now they got two big guys there. The CEO and his partner, and I think they mean partner like love partner, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, so that's it. That just happened just here recently, so I figured I'd get you up to date on that. All right, when we come back, we got a lot to get into, lots to talk about, and that whole thing that's going around about the death at Walmart and the woman in the bakery and what actually happened. There's a lot of stuff on TikTok, debating this and debating that. I'll tell you exactly what happened to her, and if you didn't know what happened to her, it's a weird story, and I'll dive into that when we come back. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. If you'd like to be heard, we'd love to hear from you. You can be part of the show. You can be podcast famous. The way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET radio.com. At the very top of the page says Be Heard. Leave a message for Deacon Live, and if you've got a device with a microphone, anything that you can speak right into it, you can be anonymous if you want. Speak right into it. Voice your opinion. You can be right alongside of us here in the studio. We'll play it on the very next podcast as well. We broadcast every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a little town we like to call Marshville. We sit on about 22 some odd acres. We have horses, chickens, dogs, cats, cattle, goats, the occasional fox, stray cats that I shot today. Yep, saw him out there. Shot at him. I don't know if I hit him or not. He flew about 3-4 feet in the air, but those feral cats, I don't want them attacking our chickens. Now, you saw Trump. Now, we try not to get too political here, but you saw Trump that happened to go and he was working at McDonald's and doing the fries thing. And, I love, it's a beautiful job. I could do this forever. Maybe I'll get a job here, if this president thing doesn't work out. And you can do all the jokes that you want. But right now, breaking, no relation at all. McDonald's suffers an E. coli breakout among 10 states. Here I go. I'm going to fuck with these flies again. Turning into other headlines, an E. coli breakout linked to McDonald's has resulted in 1 death and 49 sick people. And at least 10 of those people were sick, so sick that they had to be sent to the hospital. According to the CDC and prevention, the outbreak started on September and stretches across 10 states. the most of the cases were in Colorado. The CDC says that most people are started feeling ill after eating a quarter-pounder hamburger. Right now, the focus is on the slivered onions that are used on the hamburgers as a source of the sickness. According to the McDonald's, this ingredient was sourced from a single supplier that serves 3 of its distribution centers. In a statement posted on the website, McDonald's says the health and safety of our people and customers are top priority. McDonald's has temporarily pulled the item off the menu in the areas that are impacted. It also says it will continue to work with the CDC and prevention as they are committed to providing timely updates as we restore our full menu. Now, come on. Is the slivered onions just on the, quarter pounder? Don't they use them on other stuff too? How about let's do this? We're not putting slivered onions on anything right now. Let's do that part. Can we do that? Let's start there. Let's eliminate the one item. Don't take the quarter pounder away. Oh, man, I used to love those quarter pounders. I know everyone's looking at me going, yeah, it looks like you've had a couple yourself there, Deacon. I have. Working in a nightclub, they used to have them like 2 for $2 or something stupid like that. And I had cheese, of course, and it's another 40 cents. But I'm not a big McDonald's fan. I'll Burger King till the day I die type deal. Now, speaking of the day you die, TikTok right now is coming around and saying all these different stories about what happened to this young lady in a Walmart bakery. Now, if you're not familiar with what happened, she died. She died in the bakery. She actually worked there. And they said that she died in a Walmart oven. So when I heard the story, I'm like going, oh, I didn't know Walmart sold like appliances, like oven appliances. So I'm thinking maybe like a kid got inside and the door got shut and it accidentally locked and she couldn't get out and she ended up suffocating, that type deal. No, this is actually what happened. And I had the 911 call too. And I'll play that here in just one sec. A chilling emergency service dispatch has been laid bare that a 19-year-old girl had become trapped in a Walmart oven, ultimately leading to her death. The teenager was working in the Halifax store in Nova Scotia when she became trapped inside the walk-in oven in the bakery last Saturday night. The dispatch officer described the unfolding tragedy to first responders, revealing that the female was locked inside the oven in the bakery. The oven is on, unsure if the staff was unable to turn it off. It is understood that the girl only arrived in Canada within the last 3 years and was closely linked to the maritime ski, or I'm sorry, the what are they called? Sikh. I apologize to all our Sikh friends out there. The Maritime Sikh Society. And those are the people with the turbans on their head, and this is a female version of that. By the time the first responders arrived on the scene, they told dispatch the woman was out of the oven. She died at the scene. It's a very sad day for us and her family because she came here for a better future and lost her life. Halifax Regional Police stressed the investigation is ongoing and that the medical examiner will determine the official cause of death. Martin Cromwell, the police officer at Halifax, described the investigation as complex. He said, we understand the public is involved, and we just wanted to encourage the public to be patient with our investigation and be mindful that their family members and co-workers involved. Walmart Canada has said that they are heartbroken and our deepest sympathy thoughts are with our associate and their family. We extend our sincerest condolences to those who are closest to them. The statement continued, we also support an associate during the incredible time, difficult time, to provide a 24-hour virtual care and provide on-site support. Halifax police said on October 19th, approximately 9:30 p.m., the police were called to a sudden death at a Walmart location on Mumford Road. The 19-year-old woman who was employed at the store was found deceased. The investigators are working closely with Occupational Health and Safety of Nova Scotia Medical Examiner Services to determine the cause of the death of this manner. The investigation is still in the early stages and no further details will be able to be provided at this time. Now, here's the 911 call that came through. Now, if you're squeamish, I'm sorry, but these are the facts of life and what things go on. So let's see if I can play this 911 call. Get out of here. So here's the emergency 911 call. I'm going to switch to camera 4 so you can see it. Not that there's anything to see, but just give you something to look at other than my ugly mug.
Dispatch to Station 5 engine for a technical rescue call. The Mumford Road, Walmart, 6990 Mumford Road. Female has locked in an oven in the bakery. Oven is on. Unsure if the staff are able to turn it off. Dispatch to Station 5 engine for a technical rescue. 6990 Mumford Road, Walmart, the bakery. Time the page 2122. Call will be on Ops 4. Ops 4.
Dispatch 9 engine, just looking for an update.
9 engine, update regarding ETA for ES or for being assigned to me.
Update.
Let's see what I can do. That's 2 9 engine.
Go ahead. With the person trapped in the on there. Do you have the power shut off for that? For the staff on to turn the power off? She's in there.
Yeah, shut the power off. Throw the breaker.
Who may contact back this phone to shut the power off?
Dispatch from Upper Command.
Go ahead, Commander.
I just got the last part of the conversation. I think it was with the divisional commander. The person was out of the oven upon arrival. We're just dealing with regional police at this point right now.
Copy all.
Dispatch to Lieutenant Gore, be advised, wasn't aware that the call was still ongoing. I thought this just came in. You can take me off the call. We'll be back in service back at dispatch channel. Dispatch Rescue 48.
Copy.
Code 1.
Copy.
Dispatch from Upper Command.
Go ahead, Commander.
So there they go. That's the call coming in. And hold on, let me back out of here.
At Vistaprint, we print signs so people can...
Oh, shut up. So that was a call. I mean, you would think on the oven itself, even if there's not a human inside, there's got to be some kind of like at a gas station, you know, gas is pouring out all over the place and that big red button, do not hit this button. It will disconnect all the things. You hit that red button, it just throws the breaker on those ovens. Because outside of, you know, someone getting trapped in there, what if you have a bread fire inside and you need to shut the power off to that thing? The first thing when when the fire department shows up at your house, if you got a fire at your house, the first thing they do is that meter, that round glass meter that's on your house, they will take that and physically, it will pop off. If you hit it down, it'll pop off. And what it does is it eliminates all the electrical power to the house from an outside source. Same thing with the oven. You would think they'd have some kind of power shut off on that thing. So unfortunately, she died 19 years old, stuck in the oven. I mean, that's a movie in itself, a horror movie in itself. When we come back, you ever heard of the Subtropolis? It's an underground area made of limestone that they're building cars in. And I'll tell you how that story came to be, so stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want something for free? Well, we'll give you something for free, but what you got to do to get it is go over to prophetradio.com. It's that easy. All you got to do is go over there, and at the top of the page says free swag. A little drop-down menu. You can see all the different podcasts that come out of the Prophet Radio studio here. Pick yourself out something, and we'll send it out to you. It's not an email grab or anything like that. It's just Prophet Radio's way of saying thank you for listening to all the fine programming that comes out of the studio. Pick something out here in the United States. If you're overseas, unfortunately, we only ship those out once a month, so it'll take a little bit to get to you, but they will get to you nonetheless. Now, my dad plays the scratch-off lottery. I mean, that's just kind of his game that he plays. You know, he doesn't do the quick picks. He doesn't do the cash 3 or pick whatever numbers are like that. He likes to sit there and, you know, do the scratch-offs and stuff. And, you know, he'll buy the expensive ones. He'll buy like the $20 and $30 ones. He'll buy 4 of them, and then he'll win like $200. I'm like, well, you spent $100 to make $100? I guess that would make a good turnaround. But how many $100 did you have to spend to get that $100 in the long run? Yeah, it's always fun. You never know. I don't know why that's not his voice that I normally do. Normally it's like this. Oh, you never know if you're gonna get $1 million. You know, it just takes one. Yes, it just takes one. And this gentleman right here is a true definition of it just takes one, because he was upset that the machine that he wanted to get his scratch offs or his lottery ticket was not working, so he was forced to get another lottery ticket from something else. A man shopping in a grocery store in Illinois won a multi-million-dollar jackpot after a broken vending machine forced him to buy a different ticket that he intended. Frustrated with a vending machine that was stuck on a different lotto game, the man decided just the man decided to adjust his plans. He says it was a normal day just like any other. I was picking up groceries at the Jewel. On my way out the door, I decided to buy a lottery ticket. I actually wanted to buy a ticket for a different game, and the machine got stuck on Lotto. I was a bit frustrated. I said, "What's going on? The machine won't give me the right game." So I decided I might as well just buy the lottery ticket. On August 24th, his ticket matched all 6 numbers drawn, securing him a $9.2 million cash prize. The jackpot is the second largest one in Illinois this past year, second to the $10.4 million won in February. The morning after the drawing, I scanned the ticket on the machine to check to see if it was a winner. The machine showed $9.2 million cash prize, and then I was hit over the head and someone robbed me for my ticket. No, they didn't do that. He said, "I couldn't believe it. I shared the winner." Oh, shared the winner. I'm sorry. God, I gotta stop sniffing plain glue. I couldn't believe it, shared the winner. I looked at my wife. She was completely speechless. We were laughing how angry I was that the machine was broken, and we were so grateful that it all turned out. The store who sold the ticket won a $92,000 bonus for being the retailer of the winning ticket. So here's my question. Is it, you could say fate of the woman who got stuck in the bread thing. Maybe there were some demons in her closet or skeletons in her closet, and this is the way the world was just trying to even the things up. And then on the other hand, this guy, who knows what his background is? They didn't give the guy's name in the article. Of course, $9.2 million. He doesn't want to be identified. And he's like, if I could just do this, and the almighty beings that are beings said, "Lotto machine, get stuck. Lotto machine, these are your let's say his name's Joseph. Joseph, take this lottery ticket." God damn it, this machine's stuck again. All right, I'll take this lottery ticket. And then the balls come up. 1. And the second one, 2. And it goes on down the thing, and he wins. So he's like, holy shit. If you believe in that, that's cool. I think I believe in that more than I believe in like the almighty heaven, earth, and all that stuff. I do believe there's some kind of entity out there that's kind of steering us all along our little life path. So you can disagree with me what you want, but that's what I think in life. Now, there's another picture going around TikTok, and I'm going to switch to camera 4 right now, and so you can see this. So this picture right now is going around TikTok, and what it is it's a mine shaft, not a mine shaft, sorry. It's an underground limestone cave. And it was built in 1940, I think the 40s or something like that. And then they just, fucking flies. And then they decided that they stopped work on it for whatever reason. I'm not going to dive into the history of the actual mine, but it was left open, like just left open, wide open and everything. So it was a limestone mine, a 1940 operation, and they dug deep into a 270 million year old rock bed underpinning in Kansas City, Missouri. The process of the miners procured such stone, the limestone used in construction buildings and infrastructure needed to be a bustling metropolis sprouting up during the center of America. Fucking these goddamn flies! I swear to God! I swear to God! Suck on that. So eventually what they did is they stopped using limestone to build the concrete and stuff that we needed to build our infrastructure. So they left the place behind. So 2 decades later, an outsider recognized this commercial potential of the mine skeletons remain. So a huge family got involved when the Hunt family got involved when Lamar moved up to Texas and brought the Kansas City Chiefs up there with him. Director of Sales and Leasing at Subtropolis, Ryan Tompkins, said he wanted to invest in Kansas City and really show its people that he was there. He was here for good. He was going to be in Kansas City for good. He wanted to put his roots out, so he purchased the active limestone mine at the time. It's here that the Subtropolis, I said it 4 times, why can't I say it now? The Subtropolis began to take shape. Rather than continuing to run the facility exclusively as a mine, Hunt began to use it, storing mining equipment as well. It was a solid proof concept. With a depth of over 160 feet, the temperatures inside the network of tunnels and chambers range between 68 to 72 degrees all year round, with a humidity sitting at a comfortable 40%. Thanks to the miners' use of the extraction technique called room and pillar method, the enormous underground cavities left behind a support of a 16-foot pillar and the space and wide space regular expansions enough to accommodate nearly anything that can fit through its above ground drive-in entrance ramp. So what they ended up doing, just to get away from this story for a little bit, what they ended up doing is the Ford company came in and started storing their stuff down there. And they said, come down and see our stuff, because they, building buildings on top, they always say, this is all the land we got. We're not building any more land. So Ford took that in the 1960s and started parking their cars down there and said, hey, come down and see our showroom floor. And of course, they had to have floodlights and stuff. Well, that eventually turned into them making it into a processing plant underground. And they took the blue oval. I got too many fucking distractions. Fuck off. So the reason why they started building up down there in 1965 featured the headlines "Parts and Storage Era Completed After," I don't know what it says. Ford describes the company's plan to use this 82,000 square foot Subtropolis facility to support nearby Kansas City assembly plants, which was originally built in 1951. An article written in a month later described something called the Ford family showing, welcomed 5,000 people to the limestone caves in which they could get a look at the Automator's 1966 lineup. In Kansas City, the Midwest gets rain, gets hail, you get winter and ice. You get everything. And I think Ford really wanted to store their vehicles that they produced and assembled in this area that wouldn't come into harm's way, said Tompkins. And what better location than a large roof underground? Since then, Ford has relocated its plant, and they are now really adjacent to the underground. So we continue to have a really tight relationship with them. Although Hunt Midwest works with other automotive companies in the Subtropolis, Ford is truly the anchor tenant, with the Kansas City plant still building the Ford F-150s since 1957, and nearby other Missouri facilities churning out the transit van. The company's underground presence has grown alongside both of the products of these lines. So it's really like an automotive alley now. If I'll switch the camera 4 here, you can see here, here's the 16-foot pillars and stuff. They got fans and stuff. They got lights down there now, but it is a cave where they're like, it's a big assembly line, not per se like it's got the machinery and stuff. They build the cars, they move them down there, and they give them all the little details and stuff that they need down there, but they're storing them down there instead of being in the inclement weathers that is in Kansas City, Missouri. So I thought that was kind of cool. I never saw that or never knew that was down there. So it's been down there since the 1940s. The limestone caverns is now being a Subtropolis underground. All right, guys, when we come back, are you tired of people cutting in front of you in line? Let me switch to camera 1. Are you tired of people cutting in front of you in line? Are you tired of people not getting in line at the right point when you're getting on an airplane? Oh, that's the worst. Hey, what number are you? What number are you? Hey, go fuck yourself. Well, American Airlines has come out with a new system. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but it tattles on you if you cut in line. That's all we need. Big brother telling us where to stand in line. So stick around. I'll dive into that story when we come back. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. We'd love to hear from you, and the way you can be part of the show is to go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET radio.com. At the top of the page says, be heard. Leave a message for Deacon Live. Speak right into whatever device that has a microphone on it and speak loud and clear. You can ask us anything you want. We have over 10 years of shows. You can ask me anything. You can tell me anything if you'd like. You can even be anonymous. Just make sure you put an email address in there. It's not an email grab. They just want to make sure that you're not a robot and you're sending us spam like beep, burp, burp, burp. 9/11 was an inside job, that type of stuff. But you can say that if you want, but I probably won't play it, or maybe I will. Who's to say? The way you do that is go over to prophetradio.com. Now, I think they just said that Southwest Airlines has given up the whole group seating, because even with the group seating, I'm Group A. Yeah, but are you Group A ticket 1 or are you Group A ticket 12? No, I'm Group A ticket 12. Okay, I'm Group A ticket 1, so I should be in front of you. So then you got all these people literally getting in order and getting in line. Just fucking get on the... They're so worried that they're not going to get the seat. You're in Group A. You got the whole, carte blanche of the whole fucking plane. Just get on and fucking shut up. Now, the only reason why I want to get on the plane early is so I can get an aisle seat. Well, that's what everyone else is trying to do, Deacon. No. They just want to be pains in the asses. Well, there's a new technology right now introduced in the Albuquerque International Sunport Airport in New Mexico. And they're cracking down on flyers who try to cut in line prior to their boarding time. An audible signal will alert the gate agents when a passenger tries to jump ahead of others who have paid for their position in line. I don't know how they're going to do that, but let's find out. A spokesperson for the carrier tells People magazine that the new system is already being tested in various airports with plans to continue to expand. We are at the early phase of testing and the new technology using the boarding process. The new technology is designed to ensure customers receive the benefit of priority boarding with ease and helps provide or improve the boarding experience and provide greater visibility into boarding process for our team. Read more. Let's find out what it does. I want to hear the buzzer. I want to hear the bell. So let's see. Are they going to show the... No, this is just a normal video. The new technology has already been introduced in the Albuquerque International Sunport in New Mexico and the Tucson International Airport in Arizona. The spokesperson added that testing will soon expand to the Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport in Virginia. According to American Airlines spokesperson, the company is pleased with the results that they've seen so far. Impatient people who skip other passengers ahead of the designated boarding time are sometimes referred to as gate lice. Can you imagine that? All right, gate lice, get out of here. Nobody wants your scratchiness around you. The Post also spoke of a major airline who is dedicated in putting a stop to poor airline etiquette. Mainly you people out there that don't know etiquette as far as getting on and off a plane. Fucking retards. Sorry, didn't mean to say that. You fucking morons. Let's do that one. My temper's growing here. Our gate agents monitor the boarding process. And while Delta Airlines also doesn't use a special technology, their passengers begin boarding by numbered zones to bring more clarity to the process earlier this year. Boarding practices aren't the only changes the airport has been seeing as of late. Dunedin Airport in New Zealand recently became a trending topic after imposing a max hug time rule for its drop-off zone, complete with signage that reminders to cap the farewells at 3 minutes. For fonder farewells, please use the park pack. The sign says. All right, give me 3 minutes of hug. All right, I'm out of here. See you later. Bye, Ma. We've recently located our drop zone to improve safety and the traffic flow of the Dunedin Airport. To keep things moving along, we've installed new signage, including the max hug time of 3 minutes. And says the airport CPO, Daniel De Bono, told People magazine. It's our way of being a little quirky and remind people that drop-off zones are for quick farewells, not for a 15-minute hug marathon. So there you go. They're doing a lot of stuff at the airport. But I mean, if we just when you get your ticket, let's do it this way. When you get your ticket, there should be a list of stuff, and just make it bullet points, because we as Americans, we don't have time to sit there and read all the fine print. Do this. Bullet points. Step 1, don't be a dick. Step 2, don't cause any disruptions. Or bullet point number 3, when you do this, do A, B, and C. You know, I mean, if you give us, instructions, we'll do better. We will do better. We don't need a buzzer. We don't need to be called gate lice. But that's what they're doing, because we as humans are Neanderthals. No matter how much we've evolved in time and stuff, we just can't fucking figure out how to get on the plane, because we don't want to be left behind. We don't want to be, in the wrong seat and stuff. You have assigned seats. Most of the planes now have assigned seats. Who gives a fuck when you get on the plane? If my seat is aisle 13, seat C, it's going to be open for me. It's not like someone's going to jump in my seat. I could be the last goddamn person on that plane. I'm going to get that seat. So fucking chill the fuck out. Your seat's there. It's not going anywhere. The plane's not going anywhere. You hope it goes somewhere. You hope it makes it to the other side of whatever the destination is that's on your ticket without any problems or anyone causing a fight on the plane because, I don't know, they're in the wrong seat or something stupid like that. Now, all you people out there that say we support the Ukraine. Yay, we support Ukraine. And then all you people out there are going, why do we keep sending money to the Ukraine when we have all these problems here in the United States? Yay, you're thinking for yourself somewhat. And you think the Ukraine, and it's just Ukraine versus Russia. Well, what you don't know is there's a lot more going on behind the scenes. I personally do not understand the whole entire thing. I know that this is my recollection of what I understand. Russia wanted to take over Ukraine. Ukraine says because it was theirs at one time, Russian territory, but it is the Ukraine now. They've established their own government. They've established everything. And they said, no, you can't have us back. And Russia was like, no, it's okay. We take you back now. You'll be under our wing. And Ukraine's like, no, we're good. We're fine here. We're doing everything good. And there's, because it's like one state in between like NATO countries and stuff like that, and they want to get closer to the NATO. They don't want that barrier in between them type deal. But what's happening now, what you might not know, that sometime between October 8th and October 13th, 7 ships from the Russian Pacific Fleet sailed to Zhongjing, Hamhung, in Macedon, in North Korea. All these names, I'm going to mess them all up. To Vladivostok, Russia. Aboard were 1,500 Korean special forces. They're the vanguard of the initial force of the potential 11,000 Korean troops that are set to reinforce Russia's wider war on the Ukraine. And they are the latest of the most chilling reminder that the war isn't just between Russia and the Ukraine. The line has been crossed, and third-party troops will soon hit the ground. Other nations on both sides may follow suit, such as an already been suggested by British and French politicians. It is now a global war, potentially a world war, since it's clear that Russian leaders and their allies in Iran, North Korea, and a lesser extent China understands the stakes. It is clear that the Ukraine's allies in NATO understand this as well. Those 1,500 North Korean commanders aren't Prigozhin's first contribution to the Russian war effort. North Korea has sold artillery ammunition, KN-23 ballistic missiles and anti-tank missiles vehicles to Russia. Alongside Iran, North Korea is Russia's industrial backer. The main reason that Russia's armed forces haven't already run out of critical equipment as their wider war grinds into the 32nd most costly month is because of these financial backers, being North Korea and Iran. So let's see. I know there's a story here somewhere. Let's see. So where was I? Back to sending, but in sending men in additional In addition to weapons, Pyongyang is making an avert what was before now a largely covert. And it's helping to solve one of the Russians' most serious wartime problems, the growing manpower shortage. The Russian military has been losing more than 1,000 people per day killed and wounded on average for around a year now. At the same time, the Kremlin has been able to recruit about 30,000 fresh troops a month, mostly coming from these other countries. The difference between the losses and recruitment amount is steadily growing a troop deficiency. The Russian government could add a special draft to its usual annual conscription, but that's so politically toxic that the autocratic regime of the Russian President Vladimir Putin is reluctant to order it. Replacement troops would have come from somewhere else, somewhere that seems might be North Korea. It does seem that 1,500 Korean Special Forces and the 9,500 additional Northern Korean troops following behind them are going to man the trenches along the 700-mile line front of a wider war. It seems more likely that at first that they play support of a role in behind the line. So, you know, when they talk about, let's go back to me now. When they talk about pop music, you know, we're in the middle of an election. We're in the middle of election year. And, you know, they you can say whatever you want about Trump. You can say whatever you want about Harris. But, you know, they're not talking about this stuff. They're not talking about how, neither one of them are talking about how are they going to protect us, the United States, during this time. Now, granted, our liberties are not threatened right now. They're not being, you know, it's not an inconvenience. Let's put it that way. But it can be. It can be when our allies and stuff start diving in. They're like going, "Hey, United States, you want to help with this tug of war over here? We're kind of losing over here in United States." We're like, "Hey, man, we don't even know who's running in the office right now." And even if you get the new guy in there, granted, he's been in there before. He knows what to do. But if you get the gal in there, the Harris, she gets in there. She's just going to follow whatever the instructions of the cabinet that's already existing in there. She's not going to change the cabinet members. She's not going to change all those guys. She's going to keep exactly her front line. Her cabinet members are going to be the same. So their policies and everything are going to be the same. Trump's going to go in there and, you know, he's going to completely clear house. It's going to take him a month to clear house, if not less than that. And then to get everyone up to speed and stuff. So it might be 2 or 3 months after the election before we start seeing, all right, now we need to start paying attention to this. And that's what's going to happen. I believe that's what's going to happen. So let's hope for the best. Fingers crossed. Both sides will know exactly what to do when the right time comes around. All right, when we come back, one more little segment, and we'll wrap up the show. And there's another item in your house that could catch on fire that you leave on all the time. And it drives me insane when it's left on at my house because I'm like, you're just wasting what the big guy's doing, the big thing. You're just sucking it out and blowing it right outside. And I'll tell you what that is that could be causing a fire. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video over on the YouTube channel. Search Deacon Live Podcast. Make sure you give us a like and subscribe over there. It's not a money grab. We don't do it for the money over there. It just gives you another avenue for you to enjoy the podcast, another streaming thing. And you can catch the whole entire podcast over there. And it's all original, unedited form. We do have to edit some of the portions here during the audio portion just for time. But over there on the video portion, you can see all the stuff. Me spraying goddamn bug spray because of those little sweet flies that are flying around the fucking studio. God, every time this time of year, fucking drives me insane. I'm sitting here reading, you know, a little guy goes, "Hi, how you doing?" Flies in front of you. "Hi, how you doing?" Flies in front of you. And my eyes go from the words to the fly to the words to the fly. Like little bar flies, you know what I mean? I know. Clean up your act there, people. But check us out over there as well, and we'd love to hear from you. And the way you do that is go to profitradio.com. At the top of the page says Be Heard. You can speak right into whatever device that you have a microphone on, and it comes right to our inbox, and we'll play it on the very next podcast. We broadcast every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a little town we like to call Marshville. All right, now that I got all that out of the way, my wife, I'm not going to blame her, but there are times where, you have to go to the bathroom. Sometimes you have to go to the bathroom, not all the time. But when you do and you have, a little episode in there, you like to put on the little fan. Was it a little vent fan or something like that? Now, I know we have family coming over. You ever looked at that fan up there? And I was dusting around the house, getting the cobwebs out of the corner. Where do you live? Out in the middle of nowhere, right? And you take that little... it's kind of like a big brush, but it's like a round circle, like a mushroom top looking thing. And you brush in the corner to get all the cobwebs and stuff out. And I was brushing the exhaust fan. And I'm brushing that, and I'm like going, Jesus, there's a lot of dust and stuff up there. But when my wife leaves it on, or my dad leaves his on, sometimes I'll leave mine on. So I'm at blame too. I can just picture the AC's running. You're trying to cool the house down, and meanwhile, this thing is sucking all the AC right out of the house, shooting it right out. You're just wasting energy and money going right out the, phew, see you later. So I always go by and go, okay, doesn't smell in here anymore. Click, turn everything off. Now, this woman right here, a firefighter's wife, is educating TikTok viewers on what she says is the main type of house fires that burn a home to a ground. Now, let's see. So many ads. She starts by saying, "It will surprise the hell out of you, and no one ever guessed it." Jess, going by unhinged reviews with Jess, Jess, warns her followers that in a recent video that has been viewed over 1.5 million times, pointing out the exhaust fan in their bathroom ceiling, she explains to a lot of people don't even think of cleaning the inside the vents properly. This leads to accumulation of dust and dirt over the years. Oh, I know, I saw it when I was cleaning ours, which can catch fire and spark if the spark from the fan shorts out. Kitchen fires are the number one causes for house fires, but this one ranks up there right next to any other fire that might happen in the house. The fire actually goes up into the attic space and the crawl space of a home if it does happen, and the fire is allowed to develop over the ceiling and over fire detectors. So by the time anyone realizes that the fire, it's usually too late. That's a good idea, or good thing. I didn't even think of that. The TikToker goes on saying that Google will tell most common house fires start in the kitchen. And she says that's correct. According to State Farms, cooking is behind the majority of house fires in the United States. But the most common house fire starts that way. She says not how they burn. That's not how they burn to the ground. My husband is a firefighter of 17 years and calls this a house burner, she says, the exhaust fan. In his opinion, this is the most dangerous fire that can get started in your house. So let's see what she has, and I'm going to get this fucking... Come on, you want to play? Let's play. Come on, let's play. Let's play. You don't want to play? All right. So let's see what she says. This is...
Number one fire that burns houses...
Okay, hold on, girl. Let's get you on the right screen here. So the number one fire that reason why fire... All right, here we go. Let's let her explain it.
Who the ground is? To the ground. It will surprise the hell out of you, and no one ever guesses it.
Turn the sound down.
Thing. Right there. Exhaust fans. I'll explain, and I'm going to sit on the John to do it. Okay, my husband is a firefighter of 17.
Oh, it's so loud.
It will make so much sense. But nobody ever thinks to clean or maintenance these things. And they accumulate lots of dust and dirt over the years. And when... All
right, how many followers does she have? She's got to figure out how to switch that music down. There's a way to lower the bed in your TikTok videos. How many does she have? Oh, she doesn't have that many followers. All right, so she's only got 8,000 followers. All right, so I'll give it to her. But what she's saying is basically the exhaust vent. You need to keep it clean around the exhaust vent is one way to help prevent fires from starting. Jess also suggested using them only when necessary and no more than 15 minutes at a time. Hear that, everyone? No more than 15 minutes. Turn them off before you leave the house, she continues, and please turn them off before you go to bed. Viewers are so grateful for the video, with many admitting they didn't realize that exhaust fans could pose such a risk. Certainly, I did not know this, wrote one commenter. I leave mine on 24/7 because I love the white noise. Well, the white noise is going to be red, flaming hot noises, and then you're going to be burned to a crisp, like the girl in the bakery oven. I'm sorry, I had to bring it around full circle. Now, going in full circle. Now, going into full, I can't even say it. Now, I am from Orlando, Florida, and there has been a whole bunch of documentaries on the, Blackfin, where they talk about the orca whales, and that came out and how they're not being mistreated, but they need to be out in the main ocean. There's something called, I think it's limp dorsal fin, that only orcas in captivity form, where basically their top dorsal fin bends over and just lays there like it's depressed the whole entire time. Well, this orca right here is getting his revenge on the theme park goers that are sitting in the quote-unquote splash zone. So I'm going to play this video, but let me explain exactly what happened. Dramatically, the moment a whale defecates right before splashing on the crowd with its feces at SeaWorld. SeaWorld guests were taken to the fucking flies. Decontamination. Let me try that again. SeaWorld guests were taken to the decontamination area of the park after an orca splashed them with poo all over them. The heartbreaking videos emerged to show that the SeaWorld killer whale pooping in the water right before appearing to deliberately splash its feces on the onlookers. The park goer sitting in the splash zones for the orca performance got more than they bargained for when the cheeky mammal leaped up out of the water, crashing down in front of them. The incident took place at SeaWorld San Antonio, Texas, and the guests were taken back by, including Samantha King. She said, I was shocked. You didn't think these animals pooped? No, they clog them up. We expected to get wet sitting so close, but not like that. It smelled awful and people were gagging, she says. The footage shows the creature defecating near the top of the water, can be seen through the glass window, and that encages the animal before swimming back around and then going airborne. When it thunders down beside its poo, which flies out of the pool with the water and onto the onlookers. A boy can be seen turning around in disgust and looking at the camera after the killer whale poops before it starts splashing over the sides. The soaked little lad who looked visibly traumatized. The video went viral online, and there were mixed emotions about the incident. So let me see. Let's go to camera 4, and we're going to play the actual, I think it's just a bunch of music behind it, but here it goes. Can I blow it up big? Or blow it up big? We're going to get this shit big. So here we go. Here he goes. Oh, right there. Poops. Oh, there. Poops. Everyone's looking around. Oh, no. Oh, no. Kids are looking around like, okay. Here he comes. Splash. Shit went everywhere. It's all over everybody. He poops right there at the glass. And he takes a lap around the pool and says, get ready, folks. Eat my shit. There he comes. Splash. Now, come on. It's all right. Thank you very much. Ay caramba. Now, come on. I mean, that animals, what do you think's in that water anyways? I mean, it's like going to a public pool. These animals are humongous. They pee and poop. They might not do it in front of you, but it's in the water. Now, granted, they do have a good filtration and all that, but I mean, it's gonna happen. This is not the first time that it's happened. It's just the first time that's happened, and it's because of TikTok and social media that it's taken a grasp on everyone, like going, oh my God. Well, do me a favor. It says splash zone. It should say something else like the water might give you pink eye. So you have to be really, really careful not to look directly into the splash. cute goggles or something. Maybe they'll get rid of the splash zone. But on a hot day, especially San Antonio, Texas, give me a little splash. It's got a little poop in it. I'll wash it off. It's no different than when I'm walking around in my pants. All right, guys. On that note, we appreciate each and every one of you listening to us, downloading us, and being a part of the show. You can be part of the show. Go to profitradio.com. At the top of the page says be heard. Leave us a comment. It comes right to our inbox. Make sure you follow us over on YouTube and get yourself something for free over there as well. All right, guys, on that note, my name is the Deacon saying good night and good night.
Wait, come back.
This is the absolute end.
Écoute-moi.
You can probably see him on the camera as they're zipping around. Zip, 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 zip. All right. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye.